The burps.
Anything carbonated.
How do you do with Sprite?
Yeah. That is true.
You guys had a good conversation going.
Yeah,
About
we did.
beer and burps.
As soon as I switched,
Well, we learned some things. Sprite makes Yeti burp, not as much as beer. Unless it's draft beer, then it doesn't make him burp at all. And Justin said that nobody knows how to pour draft beer, so we're all caught up in that conversation.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, some people don't know how to pour draft beer.
Oh, now we're backtracking. Hold on.
Gotta clarify.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was more of a clarification than a backtrack.
Beautiful. Hey,
Little bit.
girl. Hey.
hey girl, hey.
Hey, brother.
Oh, no response.
Hey,
Yeah, what a bitch.
brother. I said it already. That's how I came in. And then I
know.
couldn't hear her because her mic wasn't working.
Well, I tried,
assume that you
and then
said
I
it.
kept asking, and nobody answered. So I was like, "Oh, that means my mic don't fucking work."
No, I could hear you. I was
Or
just
they're
ignoring
ignoring me. Asshole.
Weird.
That's funny. I finished watching or not finished. I watched Friday Night at Freddy's with the girls, and 5 seconds into the movie, they said something, and I'm like, yeah, no, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. And they're all three of them looked at me like,
Shut the fuck.
how'd
Fuck.
you know that all that was gonna happen? I'm like, I don't know.
Years and years of experience.
That's the thing. I always ruin movies, but they've seen it. So usually I keep it to myself. So I try not to say too much. But because
so they already seen it, so they're like, this is pointless.
Right.
Yeah.
So they
stop
seen the
hanging out
movie,
with
so
your mother.
I literally just I laid it out. I'm like, okay, this is the bad guy. He did this. This is gonna happen. Now this is gonna happen, and this is how it's gonna end. 5 seconds into the movie, and they're like, how'd you know? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna explain how I saw it in my head that all this happened. Like, spoilers. Are you guys planning to watch a movie?
No.
Okay.
Already watched it.
Already watched it. Fantastic.
I haven't seen it yet, and I'm undecided. So if you're gonna spoil it, just go ahead.
Okay, so what's his name?
Josh Hutcherson.
Rudolph.
Yes.
Still got it, by the way.
Yeah, he's still got it. Okay.
Still got it.
So he's struggling because his brother got kidnapped when he was 12, or the main character was 12, his brother was 10. And so he's taking care of his sister, but he keeps getting like fired from jobs, and his aunt is trying to take his sister away and all that. So he finds this job, or he goes to this counselor to get him a job, and he tells him he starts reading his name, and all of a sudden, before he finishes, when he reads his last name, he stops. And before any of this, his demeanor was like very very cocky, Like, I don't. You're here for me to help you and all this, and you suck and whatever. But all of a sudden, when he starts reading his last name, his demeanor completely changes. Like now he's trying to help him, and I'm like, that's weird. But then in the next scene, he's trying to get this job, and he calls them because he doesn't want it because it's overnight, and he's kind of like the counselor is kind of mocking him. So I'm like, okay, I know exactly what's happening. The premise of the movie is that this dude unalive these kids, and their souls are trapped in Freddy and the whole gang, the animatronics, and they're killing people or whoever shows up and whatever. So all of a sudden, he's trying to get this dude to get this job, trying to get him to be security guard for this place. And he's having these dreams and all that. So as I'm watching all this unravel, I'm like, I know who the bad guy is. I know who did what, and I know how it's going to end. The last fight is going to be with this dude. And eventually they're going to turn on him and they're going to kill him. Guess what happened?
No way.
No way.
The very same.
Don't get me wrong. I spoiled it for myself. But it was still a good movie. I gotta admit, I sat there and I'm like, you know what? At the end of the movie, I'm like, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
It was an enjoyable movie.
It was very old school. Like I love the fact that I was able to, like, they followed the mold of scary movies. And my boy Shaggy was the main villain. So I'm like,
it's funny because that's what Sarah and I said.
Right, but you guys remember him as Shaggy. I remember him as his character on Scream.
Which I remember him from another movie though. It was a baseball movie, but I don't remember the name.
I'm trying to remember what name. What movie?
You're picturing it, right? But
yeah, I can see him.
Yeah,
but I remember him because the original Scream movie had almost the same mold as this. Like, who you think was the killer was not, and who you think was who done it, like all that. And he kind of had that. Hey, here's the thing about what's his. Oh, I can't think of his name right now. I keep hearing him on TikTok the last couple of like weeks.
Rogelio.
Who are you talking about?
Victor
Shaggy.
Timely.
Shaggy? Matthew Lillard?
Yeah, Lillard.
Lillard? Is it really?
Yeah.
Have I just been pronouncing his name wrong this entire time?
Yeah.
Cool.
Matthew Lillard.
What do you say? What?
Lillard.
So he has such a wide range of characters. It's just he's amazing. Like he's one of those actors. Apparently, that's what we're doing in this generation right now, or in this era. We're bringing back actors that were always good, but we thought they were bad, and all of a sudden now they're gods.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm happy for them too.
Yeah,
they deserve it. They're good at fucking actors. Also,
right.
I have a 1 second rant. I'm so fucking angry that because of the internet and its fucking rules, now we have multiple generations sounding stupid as fuck. Like on a live, there's a proper word for that. And it's not for you. It's more so in the sense of
it's more social media. It's not this generation. It's guidelines.
Well, that's what I mean. But now you have multiple generations sounding stupid.
Yeah, I know. Which is funny because I said on a live, and then the next sentence I said kill. So it doesn't matter.
I didn't pick that one up. I just heard Unalive and I was like, God, we sound dumb.
Yeah.
And if that's what they wanted, hey, they've succeeded.
Right. So it is what it is. All right. We're going to, there we go. Then we are going to be talking about fucking Disney. That's what we are. We went to,
Where full. And they were like,
see, Lola, so, yeah, man, today we are going to be talking about MegaCon.
Yeah, I just love.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Nerd Archive Podcast. My name is Louis. With me, as always, I got Justin, Lola, and Yadi. And we have another train wreck. You know what? This is what the show has become. So it's never going to be another train wreck. It's just going to be
Us.
A train wreck. It is what it is. We have a special show for today. We are going to be talking about the MCU being in trouble. So just stay put. Before we start it all, we were talking about Five Nights at Freddy's, and I know it's been a couple weeks since the movie came out. I just watched it. It was a fantastic movie. Make sure you go back to the beginning. If you are listening to this and you didn't listen to that, there's a problem with you. You just have to skip that. You didn't have to skip that. And spoilers, which I'm just saying spoilers now. And the movie, I already broke down the movie. So it is what it is. How's it going, Travis? Thank you for stopping by. We are doing fantastic. I hope you are doing well as well.
Hello, Travis.
We need one of those. You guys have the soundboards. We need every time someone comes in, just
hello, human.
Yes. Yes. Hello there. Now, but I already put that one on the start of the episode when I edited it. So I think that maybe I like that one. Hello, humans.
So you add the screaming too?
Yeah.
All right.
That's fantastic. I like that.
Oh, yes, you like that one, don't you?
I did. That was perfect.
That was fucking weird.
Thank you, Pennywise. Thank you.
Sure.
All right. So, is the MCU in trouble?
It appears so.
Yeah.
You'd be
Question mark?
fools to
Exclamation
you'd be
point?
fools to believe the answer to that question is no. They're thanks to Loki, it seems like they're just barely keeping their heads above water.
Yeah.
And that's the thing though. There's not much left for that show. So, you know, what's gonna carry the what's gonna carry the MCU after this show is finished? Because it
Here's the
sure as hell
thing.
isn't gonna be the Marvels.
Well, no. It's already done. The Marvels are already done. I think that they noticed something in the last couple of months, and the Marvels was already done, so it's not that's not going. I'm still gonna watch the Marvels because obviously it's part of the story. But
I was kind of excited for the Marvels.
yeah, well,
I'm still gonna
yes.
watch it.
Right. I'm gonna still watch it. I just think that it's not going to save anything.
I guess the question that we could ask is Kang in trouble?
So the reason I say the MCU is because I keep hearing rumors not only that Kang is going to be replaced because of his issues with Doctor Doom, but that there's rumors that they want to bring back the original 5 at least for one movie just to get the fans back in it. And the fact that they are going to backtrack the death of Iron Man and bring back Captain America, the original Captain America, sucks. The reason I think it's because they gave us the end. They gave us the end of those characters, in my opinion. Go ahead, Justin.
Yeah,
Their
pop off.
conclusions were perfect, and what you're saying is because I did read an article that they were looking to bring back Robert Downey Jr. to play Iron Man one last time, and with you saying now they're bringing back the original five or six or whatever, it reeks of desperation, and a lot of people are just going to see straight through it. It's like if you're going to bring those back to try and save what little you have of the multiverse saga, it's just not going to work. You would have to, everything would have to fall into place absolutely perfect in order to pull basically the entirety of the MCU out of the fucking weeds.
Right. And a good point that Travis brings up, he said on the chat that he's optimistic because I think they've been here before with Iron Man 3, Thor 2, Ant-Man, and Age of Ultron. Ant-Man was a good movie. That's the only thing that I don't agree with, but it's your opinion, and I'm glad that you have that. However, in 4 Faces, you can name a couple of movies that didn't make it.
Yeah.
But we have the difference is, and he says that Civil War saved it. And I agree. The only problem is that with this phase that we have now, we can only name a couple of good movies. And that is just giving it like, and when I mean a couple of good movies, there were some good movies. There were plenty of good movies. However, good movies to the level of the previous phases, there's only a couple. And saying a handful is too much.
I would say there were some decent ones, but very few that I would say great along the level of, like, say, Phase 3.
Right.
Whereas you had the exact opposite situation with the Infinity Saga.
Right. We had 10 years of what's going to happen next. Now
you were excited for what was going to come next.
Lola.
Well, they did good with the shows, but I want to backtrack a little bit to bringing back the OG 5 or 6. Once they have the fans back in, what are they going to do to retain the fans? Because it's not just bringing them in, it's keeping them. And if you're just going to bring back the original 6, give us an excellent movie, what's not to say that the next 16 projects that you have are going to suck ass?
Right. So here's the problem with bringing back the original 6. I have a feeling that it's not going to be for just one movie. And that is what Justin says, that we're going to see right through it. Because if it's just one movie, it's going to be a fan service, fantastic. We're going to love it. We're all going to be excited when we see them pop up, whatever. If they stick to the next rumor, instead of bringing the next 6 or the first 6, my apologies. The next rumor is having Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman lead the next phase. Because it'll feel like a fan service, but at the same time, it'll feel different. Because from the get-go, from when we started watching X-Men and we started watching Spider-Man in the early 2000s, we were always hoping we got to see them together. And not just Hugh Jackman and Tobey Maguire. It's just those two universes together. We got, like Travis said earlier, he said Civil War, but what happened on Civil War? We had the MCU, and all of a sudden you brought in someone from Marvel, but outside of the MCU with Spider-Man. And it felt fantastic. We're like, oh, this is fresh. This is awesome. This is something that we've been waiting for.
Oh, yeah.
But now you give us Hugh Jackman, Deadpool, You give us Spider-Man. Now we're seeing our favorite heroes together. We're not seeing smaller heroes or heroes that were not part of the last 10 years or the last 20, 25, 30 years. We're seeing like being forced to like these new characters. Or obviously, we say new characters, but new characters in the big screen. There have been characters that have been in the comic books for years. But they're characters that we weren't like, I hope we see them.
Yeah.
And it's also characters that we were disappointed of seeing. Like Captain Marvel, one of the best characters that Marvel has, but kind of fell short.
I wouldn't say Captain Marvel is one of the best characters that Marvel has. It's probably one of the least popular characters that Marvel Studios and Marvel Comics has, because that franchise has been rebooted at least half a dozen times. People just don't like the character, so they're not buying the comics. You'll see it rebooted, and then you'll get maybe the first issue will get 150 to 200,000 issues bought, and then it just tanks thereafter, and then it just keeps plugging along until they decide to reboot the franchise again. And they keep doing it, maybe hoping that it'll finally catch on. But if you're just repeating the same shit and the same narratives over and over and over again, you're not going to capture the audience's attention.
Right.
And then translating the big screen and doing the same thing is not going to get audience interested.
Right. Here's the thing, and this is a very unpopular opinion, and I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. But this is the first time someone's gonna say this. You're gonna hear here first. Marvel needs to do what DC does. Hear me out before you hate it.
Started wrong, but okay.
DC will give you Batman over and over and over and over again, but people will go watch it. People will go watch Batman. Now, if you keep giving us the Marvel characters that we love, we're going to keep going. That's what happened in the first 10 years. You gave us the exact same characters for 10 years. You introduced them slowly, but you gave us introduction of these characters and then gave us a big ending. Right now, it feels like you're introducing a lot of characters.
Yeah.
And the storyline is falling
This is a
flat.
bigger ending.
Well, like you were saying, it was a slow build with the character introductions, but it was written so goddamn well, and everything flowed, and there wasn't this oversaturation where you're having like some kind of Marvel movie or TV series every month or so, and it's just like that's what they're falling into. It's just like there's too much coming out at one time, and people just aren't getting invested in it. Not just that, but it's not written well anymore.
Right.
At least not to the level that the Infinity Saga built up to at its apex with Infinity War and Endgame.
Right. Because if you look back, the first 4 phases felt like a TV series that we had to go see at the movies. Because everything was connected.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have this big audience in Disney Plus that they can do so much better. You want to introduce new characters? Make sure that the shows that you're giving us are leading up to something. Because they might be trying to do that with the shows, but it doesn't feel that way.
I think they
Because at
did good with Miss Marvel though. Like
No,
Miss
Yeah, I was
Marvel,
gonna
that was a
say.
good introduction to that character. So they are actually starting to do that
and the
late.
reason here's also the thing about Miss Marvel. They gave us an after credit scene in the last episode, which none of the shows were doing. That is what made Marvel what it was. People changed the way that they went to see movies.
Mm-hmm.
They stayed after the credits to the point where people were saying after the credits for movies that weren't Marvel.
That's because more studios were adopting that. Marvel
Disney.
started, then DC started doing it, and then every other studio is doing that shit now. It's crazy.
But then when this started, it's not doing it with the shows, because every single time that I watch a Marvel show, and I know they won't do it.
Well, the first episode of Loki did, and I'm expecting one at the last episode.
I'm expecting Deadpool in the after credit scene in the last episode.
I think Deadpool's
be.
gonna help with like reset all that stuff too. Whatever funk they're in, Deadpool's gonna go in, kill everything, and we're gonna come out stronger in the end, hopefully.
I think that he's going to reset the timeline.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I got a feeling that that's going to wind up being saved for.
Like he will try, but
Yeah, I think he's going to try, but I
make it
think something
funny.
bigger. I think something bigger, either within Deadpool 3. That I mean that, and that's the thing though. Harping on Deadpool 3, it's literally the only MCU movie at this point that anyone is super super excited for. Everything else is just kind of. It's like everything else is
Right.
down here. Deadpool, Wolverine, Deadpool 3 is like way up here. It's like you can't even see it.
Expectations. I'm going to say here, if Deadpool 3 falls flat, I am never going to watch another Marvel movie on theaters.
Oh, he corrected himself on theaters. All right.
On theaters. But here's the thing. That's what I do with DC movies now. I don't go to the theaters to go watch them, because I'm not going to spend my money on something that I'm going to be disappointed with.
Mm.
If I watch the next one and the next one is on, if I watch the next one on TV or a streaming service or whatever, and it blows my mind, then I'll be like, okay, maybe I'll go watch the next one. But the expectations for Deadpool 3 are so high that I don't care of the blasphemy that Marvel has made in the last 3 years.
True enough. And Travis in the chat makes a good point when he says Batman, like Spider-Man, is a jump-on character. No matter how convoluted the overall story, people know Spider-Man and will see the movie for them. And then he
Correct.
follows it up when what we were talking about. It's probably complicated, but I think the first episodes of these shows should be aired on Prime TV and released for free on YouTube for a week.
I think Prime TV is dead. So it wouldn't be a great strategy from them.
No.
Well, I mean, I think people are starting to coming back on because what is that one show, Gen V or something like that, which is that The Boys spinoff, and then that's going to lead right into the next season of The Boys, and then the new season of Invincible just started back up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Disney would do that. It's not a right move for them, but
I think that they need to stop doing single season shows.
I think they need to stop doing shows altogether. Not because they're bad shows, but because most of the projects that they've done have been good, have been the shows. Just make those into movies. Because
I
they
think
didn't
they
have
can-
shows for the first few phases.
they can stretch it out a bit more and explain more things in the show
Mm.
a lot of times. So it does give more to the fans than, because I know you want to jump into the action and all that stuff, but it's also good to see other things that you would never get to see in a movie.
Yeah, but
Right,
that's
the
the
filler.
thing. It's right, but then that's stuff that's information that you can give out in other movies and still have good writing.
Well, that's part of the, like, one of the reasons why the started to hold this strike with the writers and whatnot, and they probably were doing a shitty job because they were not getting paid, and then it started the whole thing of bad
Oh,
shows.
we're thinking they were butchering it on purpose because they weren't getting,
That could be.
I can see that.
I mean, if I was
That's-
tired of a job like that, I would do minimal.
Right.
I mean, that's one explanation. There's another explanation, but that delves too far into shit we don't talk about on this podcast. So
Well, yeah, no, it's just concentrated of like, if I was a writer and I'm not getting paid, and yeah, I will do what you're paying me for.
Right. If you're paying
Bare
me shit,
minimum.
I'm gonna make shit.
Right.
Travis says even when Agents of Shield was for free on cable, people joke how no one was watching it and was never referenced in the
Excellent
films
show.
to avoid confusion. Here's the thing, Travis. They were in the first 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
They were part of the MCU. Each season of Agents of Shield was a gap between movies.
Yeah.
Or not between movies, was more between like every couple of movies, and they reference the movies in the show to fill in gaps. What happened between this and that?
Yeah.
So
And then they went off the rails.
And
and
then
they
Didn't they
got
take an
dropped from
anno-
the MCU.
yeah, that
So it became
excellent show
non-canon.
though.
No, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
But the first 2 seasons were the best
Mm-hmm.
because they
I remember
had
that
to
Thor
do
episode.
right. They had to do with the movies,
Yeah.
and it felt like okay, like Yadi said, they were giving us information that we weren't getting in the movies, so it didn't feel like it needed to be like action packed and all that, because it was, here's the last episode of the season, here's a movie. So that's how it felt. It was like it didn't need to be action packed, because now I'm gonna watch this, so when the movie comes out, I have all this information that I needed. So it's just that, going back to the writers, that is, and seeing that one season shows don't work, is how they decided to scrap everything on Daredevil. They decided to give us more in a longer time instead of just doing 8 episodes. So they're going to give us more episodes so it doesn't feel too rushed.
This means we're gonna be like for what is it? They're planning on doing 20 episodes on,
Mm-hmm.
I believe so, yes.
so 20
Yep.
weeks.
Yeah.
Watching this. All right.
Fingers
Crazy
crossed.
shit.
Good.
We can do it in one day if they put it all.
I
Jeez.
remember when it was, when we would watch a season and all of a sudden we would have to wait 2 weeks because they stopped for like Christmas.
Yeah. Fuck that.
But at the same time, can you remember all those shows that you watched in a good way?
No, because I can, but I also waited until they were completely out so I could binge them.
Yeah. But
And
you
somehow
also,
managed to avoid spoilers.
and that's also the thing. We would have to wait months.
Mhm.
They would release it a week before the new season comes out on TV. They would release it on Netflix. Every show was on Netflix. Now we have so many streaming services that just,
Now we're going back to cable.
yeah.
I think honestly, and this is another
Full circle.
I think I pretty much. Well, I think some of the smaller ones are going to wind up dying out because I think we're closing in on like a streaming service crash. Like, what was it? The like 70s, like the 70s and early 80s, like the video game crash. Like everybody and their fucking mother had a video game console coming out, and all these shitty games were coming out left and right. And then all of a sudden the market just completely flatlined. And then, you know, and then you have a resurgence in the late 80s with Nintendo. I think this, if it does happen with streaming services, I don't think it's going to be as bad. I think a lot of the lower ones are going to just completely cut out, and you're going to consolidate maybe into like 3 or 4 at the end of it. Speaking of streaming services, it appears that Disney is going to buy out the remainder of Hulu that they don't own.
I'm surprised they hadn't done that yet.
Well, they don't. Obviously, they're getting more money from their shareholders to do this, because if it was just solely on their shoulders, then they wouldn't have been. But I guess they have plans, and we've talked about this before, that they want to do with the Hulu streaming service. And they can't because they don't fully own it 100%. But soon enough, it looks like they will.
Okay, Disney, hear me out. Since you're buying Hulu completely, I'm assuming that all the shows from Hulu are going to go into Disney Plus, or they're just going to call it Hulu by Disney.
But it's already like merged.
Right. So Disney, make 2 different tiers. You have the Disney Plus and Disney Plus Sports for like an extra $5-6 a month. And this is for the people that watch sports that already have the ESPN Plus app. For like $5 or $6 more a month, you buy the next tier, which is the Disney Plus Sports, and then you get everything that you would get on ESPN.
I'm thinking
They're already doing
everything's.
that.
But have the live sports on Disney Plus.
I think, well, that's the thing though. I think everything's going to wind up just getting merged into Hulu, especially if they're going to keep the live TV.
Right.
I don't think
Because
the service can handle it.
Nah, I'm pretty sure they can. They'll
Because
figure it
HBO
out.
Max is doing sports and Hulu is doing sports.
Right, but I'm saying like merging Hulu and Disney Plus is not gonna work.
Yeah, I don't think that would work. But I think that since all the other streaming services, they have sports, because even Peacock is doing sports now too.
Mm.
So I think that Disney Plus is the only one falling behind, and they own ESPN. So let's get it together, Disney. I really want the basketball games.
Yeah, well, you have the people that do like sports and the people that don't. I'd rather not
Sure
have
enough.
the sports in
Right,
Disney
that's what
Plus.
I'm saying. To have Disney Plus and then have a Disney Plus Sports, which is you pay a
Right,
little
but
bit
you're talking
extra.
about 2 apps, technically.
It's more of what your subscription would allow. Because
Right, I don't want to see the sports in a thing. That's the thing. I don't want to see the option for it. You know, like
so
I don't.
sorry
I
that
don't
you have
care.
to,
therein lies the
care
point.
less.
a category.
Therein lies the point of merging everything into Hulu, because as Hulu stands now, you have those options, those add-ons that you can add, like if you want, for like a certain amount extra per month.
Like
so
Prime.
if you want that too, yeah.
You're gonna need a powerful PC to watch Disney Plus.
Right.
I think they can pull it off. I'm pretty sure they can pull it off.
I think Disney has the power.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, they're not in the best situation financially, which is why they're having to rely a lot on massive fucking shareholders.
For a company
But-
that makes a lot of money. Yeah.
They're not really making as much money as you think, at least not anymore.
I'm friends with Bob Iger, so yeah.
kind of like how my uncle works at Nintendo.
Yeah.
That old trope. Oh
funny.
man, yeah. No, I honestly, with as much as they own and the amount of people that they employ that that have hands in all this and do all that work, I think they can. I'm pretty damn sure they can figure it
I
out.
think they also have people with no hands. They do accommodate to everyone working. We just have people that have hands, so
the proverbial hand in that pot. And
Lola's
here's
dying.
Travis Mitchell in the chat saying, I think Apple TV, Amazon, and Peacock are probably done within the next couple of years.
Apple TV is actually pumping out really good shows.
Yeah, here's why I
don't
don't
know.
think that Peacock is going to go under. Peacock, they're putting a lot of movies that are coming out on theaters the same day on Peacock. And that is driving people to Peacock.
And away from theaters.
Yeah.
Peacock is what Hulu used to be.
Yeah. You know what
better.
what pisses me off the most is that you pay for Hulu and you still get ads.
And it was free before.
Yeah, it was the ads were free, and then you had Hulu Plus, and you didn't get the ads because that was the main thing.
Yeah.
And now you still pay for it and still get the fucking ads.
Well, on the live TV portion, yes. And they do have a tier where you don't get ads, but if you still have the live TV, you will still get ads. It's that, like, even if you're paying for the Hulu Plus sub with the no ads, if you have the live TV out on, you're gonna still watch ads on the live TV channels, no matter what.
It's just their ads. Yeah.
Earlier I said on a live because I didn't want to get in trouble with YouTube, but what I'm about to say, Hulu can suck a dick.
That's not bad.
I think they like that.
Yeah.
I'm saying YouTube would like that because they're competition in some way.
Yeah, because it's just it's that fucking ads. Like if I want to watch ads,
I allow it.
I'll watch cable TV. That's one of the reasons why I stopped watching cable TV because here's the thing, and I'm not the only one that did this. Every time that you were watching a show or a movie and commercials came through, you changed the channel.
Yeah,
and then you went
attention
back.
span is very short.
And then you went back. And I'm not saying that everyone did, but I know I'm not the only one.
I did.
And the problem is that with Hulu, you see an ad and you're like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm skipping this out. I'm get out. And as soon as you hit the fucking show again, the fucking ads start.
The cool thing is that you see a timer, so you have time to go to the bathroom.
Right.
Like if you can't pause the show.
That's also with Peacock. Peacock. The difference between Hulu and Peacock is that Hulu will kind of like, if you're watching a show, they will put the ads in the middle of something. And usually it's when something's getting good. Peacock does it in the beginning. They'll give you 120 seconds of ads, but it's in the beginning. And if you stay on the same show, you don't see another ad. The only way that you see the ad is if you get out and you come back. They want you to stay, which is brilliant. Brilliant, I tell you.
Well, hell, even Disney Plus has an ad-supported tier now.
Yeah, but you can fucking skip that shit.
But even though we're bashing on ads, if you are a company that want to advertise yourself on this show, then we'll gladly do it.
Yes.
Sponsors, please.
We will do it. We're talking shit because we're not at that point yet.
Well, here's the thing though. There's a big difference. There's a big difference between what we're doing and what streaming services that Disney has control over, or any really streaming service is doing. if we're going to plug somebody that's sponsoring us, it's more than likely going to be, products and services that we use and actually enjoy, and we want to support and, put that out there. It's not commercials for shit that, we don't really give half a shit about.
It depends. If something that I don't give a shit about pays my bills, I'm just gonna say, you know what? Use this vagina trimmer if you want.
Hey, you can
This
still use it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Stop making out with your boyfriend. I can hear it from here. It sounds like.
The fuck?
I was waiting for an opportunity to use that.
Oh man, I have had way too many mimosas already. I didn't know I was talking to 6 other people. Oh, it's only you 3. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, Travis says, seeing that ad 1 of 3 feels like Thor getting blasted with the star in Infinity War. It's like, oh man. It's like
A little bit.
Here's the thing. It's like watching things on YouTube. I know that we're on YouTube right now, but if you're watching a video on YouTube and all of a sudden you're like getting all these, you're watching a video and then every single ad is skip. You're like,
Yeah.
perfect. Then they hit you with the no skip. But
Absolute bullshit, by the way.
What's the worst is that sometimes they put see more where the skip is.
And then you try to skip, and then you actually get to see more.
Yeah.
Do you ever just stare at that countdown like, I hate you with
No,
my entire fucking
my anxiety
being.
kills me because it's longer. The more I stare at it, because all of a
The
sudden
longer
it's like
it gets.
15 seconds, and when you look at it again, it says 30 seconds. I was like, how is this possible?
The best part is when you have whatever you're watching, and they actually have a sponsor and they do their ad in it, but then you go right after and they go through an actual ad
Yeah.
again. I was like, what the At least the one in the episode, you can just kind of go forward a little bit.
Yo, Twitch is doing 6 ads now, dude.
Ugh.
It like I don't
Whenever
know how Twitch works.
Well, when you're watching, they used to do like 1 or 2 and maybe 3. Maybe. But now it's like
They
you're
desperate.
watching. Yeah, all of a sudden it's like 1 of 6. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah. Well, it also I think depends on the individual creator on there, because some will use more ad space in certain spots to where like the majority of your episode or whatever you're watching is like ad free after that point for a while.
Right. It's just crazy because sometimes I'm watching like a podcast on Twitch and it's like, it's not like watching a video pre-recorded. The ads happen and then it starts where it picked up. If you're watching a live stream, you missed whatever long that was for the ads and you're like, what the
Wait, they do the
fuck?
ads on a live?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yep. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. You'll
Unless
click on
you're
a stream.
subscriber.
Yeah. If you're just following them or you're just some random, like you see them on the main page or something like that and you click on it, you're more than like 99% of the time you're hit with like 2-3 ads before you even see the action on the channel you're trying to watch.
So they're forcing people to subscribe. Beautiful.
But here's also what Twitch is doing. I know we kind of steered off into ad revenue and all that shit, but now Twitch has a subscription that you can. It's an ad turbo, which means that all of a sudden you pay for that, and this button that says skip ad shows up. Here's the problem with that. Twitch streamers make money off ads. But now if someone goes into Twitch and subscribes to the ad turbo subscription, Twitch is making money off the subscribers, but the streamer is not.
Sneaky Marvel.
Oh yeah.
So if you subscribe to channels because you don't want to watch ads, so you subscribe to like 5 different channels because you like them and whatever, and you want to support them, plus you don't get to watch ads, and it is $5 per, so it's $25, but then you get the ad turbo, which is only $15, and you can skip all of them. You're going to choose that over subscribing.
And the creator's not going to see a fucking dime.
Correct.
Which is, it's absolutely ridiculous. It always seems to be one step forward and 3 steps back with them. Because we were talking about, I think I messaged you last week about how they relaxed their stance on affiliates being able to simulcast on multiple platforms.
Right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, YouTube has those restrictions in place as well. So like if we're on the partner program, we can't multicast.
Right.
So it's like, okay, that still kind of, that still kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I'm curious as to when YouTube is going to do that. Probably when they piss people off a bit more, which like they're doing right now. But yeah, it's like that one good thing that they're doing, and yet you're getting all this bad shit in turn. So it's like, what the hell is the benefit? I was actually considering going back to like multicast on Twitch and YouTube when I went back to streaming, but then I realized that what's the point? Because there's more negative than positive at this point that's just keeping me away.
Right.
Do it what you can. I know OBS now has a thing where you can multicast to like 3 different places.
Right. On that note, I'm trying to figure out what to stream.
Jedi Survivor.
Yeah.
You need to finish that goddamn game.
I need to finish that game and Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not like I'm not streaming them and I'm just playing. I'm not even playing.
Right.
Yeah. Kind of give up, huh?
Use one as the I get it, but it's like when you're able to, like, use one as the excuse to do the other.
You see, to me, gaming it's like part of my life. And I can't give it up. Even if I don't stream, I'm still gaming. Like it's not
True enough.
like I play every day almost.
And I get that. I get home and I'm like, today I'm playing. Like throughout the day, I literally think about what I'm going to play when I get home. And then I don't.
Do it in the mornings when you're off. At least start with that.
Right.
And then see how you feel after. Because, hey, Call of Duty's coming out on Friday. And I want to play.
Oh, yeah. Travis in the chat was saying, I made 2 cents on a YouTube short that I also had on Instagram Shorts. And my Instagram has the YouTube link in it, and the video got demonetized. So I'm pretty sure it's already happening. I mean, that's been a thing for a while. I mean, competing platforms, they don't want they don't want any excuses for people leaving one platform to go to another. So that's why, like, if you have, and I've fallen into this as well, take Twitter, for example. If you have a link to another platform in your main post, that tweet's not going to get pushed as much. So you're not going to get very many impressions on it. They want to keep you on that platform. Now, if you're putting them in the comments, it seems to be a bit of a different story. So you get a bit more traction in your main post if your replies are what has the links and that stuff in it. And so there's a lot of platforms that do that exact same thing. And then when it comes to like money making things like the YouTube partner program, what used to be the Twitch affiliate program and things like that. I mean, give them time. Give them time. Travis Mitchell in the chat was saying they're not taking that 2 cents back. That's for sure. Give it time. They will find a way to put that in there and have that as part of their terms of service, that they'll start fucking taking shit from you. But then that would, I think, to be honest, if they really wanted to drive people away from their platforms, they would be stupid enough to do that. But
I was
I was
that.
saying,
Mhm.
like I was saying, it's like between, with the YouTube partner program and what used to be the affiliate program on Twitch, it's like you can't do, you can stream on competing platforms, but you just can't do it at the same time. And obviously they can find out. And if they do, you're fucked, like for good. But honestly, I think they need all of these platforms need to really ease up on these restrictions, I think, and just kind of go with it, because you're not going to keep people on your platform if you keep tightening your grip.
Right.
And I don't know, like if this was a thing with your video, Travis, but if you edit a video in TikTok, for example, and you leave that watermark on it and you post that video on another platform, those will not get pushed as much, and they will get demonetized.
Instagram will do that. YouTube hasn't yet,
Oh,
because
apparently they did for him.
Well,
his Instagram reel got, I guess, demonetized because it had the YouTube link in it.
Right. Because now what they're doing is that all these videos have a meta tag. So whenever they're ran through these apps through their AIs, it can read if it was posted somewhere else, if it came from somewhere else.
Mhm.
And it doesn't matter anymore that if it has a watermark or anything. Because now TikTok, you can download the videos before you post them, and it doesn't have a watermark.
Well, yeah, like the best thing to do is just to edit it enough out of it where you can use that to post to different places. But
Right.
you know,
That's generally what I do. It's like I edit all my stuff in DaVinci, and then that just gets posted everywhere. That way I don't have to worry about that.
Right. And the one thing that Instagram doesn't do, which they're not stupid, is the people, the creators that have a lot of followers, they won't push it too much, but they still push it on their followers' feeds, and they still get traction, and they're keeping people in the app, so they have a little leeway with those people. But if you are someone like me that only has like less than 400 followers, they're not going to push that. It's just going to give you 200, 300 views at the most. But with YouTube Shorts, now they're a couple of my like 10,000 view videos. They've had watermarks from TikTok, and they don't care because they still have people watching them on there. Because you're not, if you're posting the same videos that you have on TikTok on their platform, they're not going to go somewhere else to go watch the other videos because they're seeing them there. If that makes sense. Like you're posting them on there and people are seeing them on YouTube. So they're going to wait for the next one that comes out of you and bring it to YouTube Shorts. But Instagram doesn't like that. They're like, no, I don't want that TikTok thing, that logo. I don't want it anywhere.
Yeah, because they're more straight up. I mean, they're all it's all composition, but
Right.
Pretty much.
they are, I think, pretty rivals, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
More than YouTube, because YouTube is more than just shorts.
Right. And they know that YouTube knows that their competition is trying to mimic them, because now they're doing longer videos. Now they're
Yep.
allowing, if you post a video that is not 9:16, you can actually click and it says click to make like full screen, and it'll turn it
Mhm.
on TikTok now.
Sounds like TikTok is trying to become the next YouTube.
Mm-hmm. They are, and they're not afraid of it, because they're posting, they're creating features that are already on YouTube, and they're not hiding it.
Travis in the chat, Marvel needs to do a show on Instagram Shorts.
And just drop like a minute every day.
It's
What
funny
was it?
because there's like a video game or like an ad for one of the apps that they have that shows better graphics than
Yeah.
what is in the game, obviously. But that specific ad, it's way better than other cartoons that they have done. And people are like,
yeah.
why are
Yes.
you not doing this?
I actually find that comment pretty funny, because there was a platform that did short form videos before TikTok ever became a thing. And there were like really short, like mini-sodes of some kind of program that they were doing. I forget the name of this. I forget the name of this service. It didn't last, sadly.
Vine?
Well, that's one that
Just
didn't
kidding.
fucking last, but yeah. What the hell was it?
Musically. That was
No,
TikTok.
it was a, yeah, no, it was a short form video platform. I'm gonna be racking my brain over this for like the rest of the goddamn night until I figure it out.
That's the
Fucking-
intern.
What's his name?
Rogelio.
Vine brings back bad middle school memories. I never bothered with Vine. What was it? Senpai Gaming or whatever his name was.
Harris Heller.
Yes, he used to be on that platform I'm
He
referring
did
to.
Vine.
And he did Vine as well.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember, but I can't.
Yeah.
Because he mentions Vine a lot more.
Yeah.
That's where his content
Music.
creation
Yeah, then
and
when he made music.
Yeah. And then he found YouTube, or he decided to focus more on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
But I remember those old apps, and I thought that TikTok was going to be one of those that it was good for the pandemic, and I always thought as soon as the pandemic's over, it's just going to crash and no one's going to use it. It just became more popular.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's the thing though. It's like I had the same opinion. I thought, this is just gonna be like a flash in the pan. It's gonna be a fad, and then it's gonna die out within like a couple of years. And shockingly enough, that hasn't been the case. I'm surprised.
Well, it's because they evolved. They evolved because they started pushing content that was just people to make at home, like the dancing trends and all that shit. That's why it became popular, because people were doing those while they were at home and they couldn't leave.
Yeah.
But now they're more videos of like in the public, like challenges and things like that if you notice, the trending dance challenges are barely on your For You page anymore. They're not pushing
Pretty
that.
much.
I
Yeah, I
started.
think
I downloaded TikTok like last year, so this is never on it.
Well, I downloaded because I worked through the pandemic, but the restaurant that I was working at only did takeout, and we were doing maybe 3 orders a day from like 11 o'clock to 8:00 at night. So there was a lot of time for me because I would do not a lot of prep because in 3 orders, I don't know what I'm going to
It's a
sell.
lot of food.
So I wouldn't prep a lot. It wouldn't be dirty because we never got a rush. So I was salary, so I was just sitting there. And the owners didn't care. They're like, as long as we're open and you're there, whatever.
Travis
They get
in the
money from
chat.
the air.
Pretty much. Travis in the chat says, I do speculate in the next decade we're going to see audio dramas and digital comic books take popularity over TV. Just a hunch. Well, I mean, digital comic books are starting to come up. And I mean, like audiobooks have always been a thing. And I do more audiobooks than anything else. So, like, honestly, if we see that like make a resurgence and lead to something more, like some things moving over to like audio dramas, as you were saying, I think that'd be an interesting bit.
What constitutes as an audio drama?
When they have attitude, talking.
I was gonna say, because I listen to a lot of like Reddit stories on my TikTok, and that's a lot of audio dramas.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty much what it is.
Okay, cool. I live for those stories, by the way. People are fucking insane.
I think not just those, but like those ones, because I've gotten into those ones that tell like stories, like these weird space stories that yeah, it's I have one saved on YouTube. I'll send you guys after, which is I thought was actually kind of cool. It's really long. I think it was like 3 or 4 hours long, but yeah, it's
So
I thought it
kind
was
of like
pretty
an
good.
audiobook.
Yeah. Audio drama with full casts and sound effects like the Star Wars ones NPR did in the 80s. Interesting.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I think we have to interview Travis for that little story that he did with the night crawlers encounters stopping him.
Hey, Travis, do you have a microphone, a headphone, and a computer? This is a legit question. Now we're all waiting, staring at each other.
Sounds like a fun story to tell.
Yeah, could be.
But after that encounter, you think he actually wants to talk about it?
Right. Yeah, maybe it's have you seen that guy that was like ice streaming somewhere in New York, live streaming at a restaurant, and then a gangster basically got approach him and stop him. I said, "You need to leave now."
Oh shit. He responded, no computer at the moment as it broke, but I have an Apogee mic and some Rode ones. I gotcha. That sounds like you're in between computers, which kind of sucks, but those things happen.
Okay, so if you have a good internet connection, the reason I say that is because it's sorry for my French. It's a bit to edit when someone doesn't have good internet connection. And if you have a microphone for your phone, we can do this on Zoom. We would like to interview you about your encounter with the nightcrawler.
You see,
Nightcrawler.
Nerds don't words good, folks.
It's a compound word. I struggle with
it.
We all do at times. I do.
I will write that on your tombstone.
Yes, please. I struggle with compound words. Here lies the guy that struggled with compound words.
Yes.
That's why
Well, no, I'll
every
put a
word on this
QR
tombstone-
code
Hence why every word on this tombstone is single worded.
Hey, Nightcrawler reminded me of X-Men, and X-Men is Wolverine and Deadpool, and then we were talking about Kang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, Travis, we knew what you meant. We knew what you meant. That's usually that's usually how it is. It's like some guy that's, it's like, oh, you're taking my job, or some dumb shit like that, and just trying to, a sternly worded,
Warning.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not telling you to stop, but I'm kind of telling you to stop, or else I'm gonna, but I won't actually say it. But maybe
Right.
you get the hint.
Right.
They're gonna be like,
Play a game with me, would you?
Yes.
All right, Travis. So we have a link for our Discord on the description. If you are so kind and click on that and join our Discord, that way we can stay in contact with you. Because we would love to. You gave us a lot of great information.
I didn't cut his brake lines. We're good.
Yes, please. I'm glad you didn't, but if you do, just let me know. I'll help you hide the body.
It would make an interesting bit for the story.
Yeah, we bonded today, so I'll help you hide the body.
Hey, don't forget me. You got my interest as well.
To hide the body? Yeah.
The whole damn thing, man, not just the story. But yeah, the body too.
All right. So, do you guys have anything else for tonight?
no.
No?
I think we're good.
Do you have a nerdy quote of the week?
Well, it's funny that you should ask because
What's up, bitches?
yes, that's right, folks. It's time once again to test the host's nerdy knowledge with this week's
Nerdy quote of the week.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, look at
hey,
him.
there we go. We got a
Welcome
new
in.
member of the Discord. Awesome. All right. Since we were talking mainly about Marvel in this episode, which I kind of figured we were going to, this one is going to be Marvel themed. So, yeah, for the new people in the chat, this is the game where I test the host's nerdy knowledge with one nerdy quote from a movie or TV series, and they have to tell me who said it and what movie or series it came from. There is no audience participation. This is purely for the hosts, so let's get down to it. The quote for this week is, "If you think I'm evil, well, just wait until you meet my variants."
That is Kang in Loki.
There's Lewis.
Kang and Loki. Well, actually,
Loki.
he who must not be named.
Who he
He
remains.
remains.
See,
That's
I
Voldemort.
confused everyone. I got you
Slow the
guys.
fuck down. Slow the
I
fuck down.
gotcha.
Yachty.
He who remains.
In
Loki.
okay.
Season 1. Some of the last episode. I don't know.
I don't care about any of that. Just the
But
character in the show.
I like to. I'm an overachiever. Okay. Leave me alone.
I gotcha. All right. Lewis is already guessed. So Lola.
He who remains. Loki.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's everybody's guess. And that quote was stated by He Who Remains, otherwise known as Kang, from the
What?
series Loki. So guess what, folks? 2 points all around.
But should
I think Travis gets 2 points too.
should Luis get it though? He said Kang, and I think
He Who Remains is a self-given name.
What was that? What the fuck was that? fucking hilarious. That was amazing. Was that another It soundboard piece?
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. Oh my God. That is great. All right. So everybody got 2 points for that one. And so the scores at the end of this round stand at Lola still with the lead at 45 points. Yadi in second place with 41 points, and Lewis holding up the rear with 36 points. Yeah. I know. We all know you got a sore anus. It is what it is, but you got 2 points on this one.
I have a
That's
sore
what she
anus,
said.
but that's for something else. What?
It is what it is. And that does it for this week's nerdy quote of the week. Here we go.
Yay.
Quit your bitching. You did good this time.
Yeah, it's like you put it on fucking easy mode.
But you got it.
I did.
Is this the first time we all get 2 points?
No,
think
it's happened before. It's happened
Okay.
a couple times before. I think once before I got all the soundboard stuff, once after I got it, and then this time. So 3 that I know of.
Wow.
You should know. You are the host.
Hey, listen. I'm thinking about like dad jokes and stuff, like Star Wars dad jokes. Last week, it was Halloween. Or when this episode drops, it'll be still last week, whatever. This dude dressed up as Luke's hand.
Oh yeah.
What?
So he dressed up completely in black. He had a black mask, like completely covered, and all you can see is his hand with Luke's lightsaber.
Nice.
To me, that was the best costume I had seen. Because when he comes in the room, I'm like, the fuck? Why is he all covered in black and all you can see is his hand? And his wife is the one recording. And it's like, hey, babe, what are you? I'm Luke's hand. And I'm like, oh, man. That was fantastic.
It sounds it. It sounds it. Oh, man. That's great.
I have a really bad dad joke, Star Wars
Oh,
theme,
here we go.
just to close out the episode.
Nice.
Why didn't any of Luke Skywalker marriages last?
Why?
He always followed Obi-Wan's advice. Use divorce, Luke. Fantastic. All right, guys. That is it for today's episode. Make sure you go on our Discord and just like Travis did. He went in. Now he's part of our nerdy community. Thank you, Travis, for joining us today.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure you go on all of our social media and you can see us. You can see Yadi when he was watching Ahsoka. He was into it. You can see Justin gameplay of Zelda. Lola, you can see her. And you can see me acting out memes, because that's what I do on my TikTok. I just act out memes. None of my content is actually original. It's all memes. Just throwing that out there, just in case someone is like, "Oh, I've seen it before." Yeah, I know. It's said it here. I don't want to get canceled because my shit is not original.
We have a subscriber.
Thank
Thanks,
you, Travis.
Travis.
You are fantastic. Make sure you go on our social media. Make sure you go on our website to see all of our episodes, our merch. If you're a nerd, you're gonna love it. So, and this was Justin, Lola, Yadi, and my name is Lewis. This was the Nerd Archive Podcast. Thank you once again. We'll see you next week. Deuces.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Click all the things. Bye.